morning. The Senate will come to order. The Secretary will call the roll.
Senator Brooks, Senator Buck, Senator Canizaro, Senator Dennis, Senator Doniate, Senator Dondero-Loop, Senator Goicoechea, Senator Hammond, Senator Hansen, Senator Hardy, Senator Harris, Senator Kieckhofer, Senator Lang, Senator Neal, Senator Orenthal, Senator Pickard, Senator Ratty, Senator Scheibel, Senator Sievers-Gansert, Senator Settlemeyer, Senator Spearman, Senator Kieckhofer, and Senator Spearman.
Senator Canizaro.
Thank you, Madam President. Please mark Senator Kieckhofer excused and Senator Spearman present, as she is here with us virtually.
Thank you. Let the record reflect there are 20 senators present and 1 excused. Please rise for the prayer and invocation by Pastor Jason Ching of the Dayspring Church in Reno.
Father, what a difficult year it has been. What a difficult job you have given this Senate. They face a struggling world and a divided public on top of their already challenging work. Lord, you are the God of all wisdom. Would you be their wisdom and their help? Lead them and shine your light on their path. In all their ways may they acknowledge you, and would you make straight their paths? Guide them, please, in this important stewardship you have given them. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Thank you. Please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated. Order of business number 3, reading and approval of the journal. By previous order of the Senate, the reading of the journal is dispensed with, and the President and Secretary are authorized to make the necessary corrections and additions. Senator Canizaro.
Thank you, Madam President. I move that the Senate stand in recess until the call of the chair to hear Representative Dina Titus's message in joint session with the Assembly.
Thank you. We are in recess. The Senate is back in session. Madam Secretary, could you please call the roll?
Senator Brooks, Senator Buck, Senator Canizaro, Senator Dennis, Senator Doniate, Senator Dondero-Loop.
Madam Secretary, Dina Titus is speaking.
The people's business in the face of this pandemic. Serving in the Nevada Legislature has always involved sacrifices, time away from family and jobs, but never before has it carried the personal risk of meeting together while our state is fighting a virus that has taken the lives of more than 5,400 of our fellow Nevadans. We mourn for those we have lost, the people in our own lives and the loved ones of our friends and neighbors. But our job as public servants, yours here in Carson City and mine in Washington, is to give our fellow Nevadans hope. Hope that they can keep a roof over their heads. Hope that their children can learn in a safe and healthy environment. Hope that they can get back to work without fear of illness. And that's exactly what you all have done. And we're seeing positive signs as a result. As more people are being vaccinated, the spread of COVID-19 is slowing within our population. Nevada has now administered more than 2 million doses of the COVID-19 vaccine. The percentage of Nevadans testing positive for COVID has fallen from more than 20% in December to below 6%. And I'm optimistic that we'll beat this deadly virus. But please remind your family, friends, and constituents that the COVID-19 vaccines are safe, effective, free, and available to everyone regardless of legal status. Getting vaccinated is the patriotic thing to do. It's the key to returning to normal, to saving lives, and to bringing about economic recovery. Fortunately, scheduling an appointment for a COVID-19 vaccine in Nevada has never been easier. With this incredible tool in our pocket, I know that Nevada's best days are ahead. Under the great leadership of Governor Steve, you have laid the groundwork for a strong recovery. Meanwhile, I've been working hard in Washington to pass measures that will help put shots in arms, money in pockets, workers in jobs, and our students safely back in schools. The Linchpin is the American Rescue Plan, a comprehensive relief package that we passed to crush this virus and get our economy back on track. Especially in southern Nevada, our tourism-based economy has been devastated by the pandemic, with visitation last year down more than half across the state. Even as we turn the corner in this battle against the virus, we sadly still rank among the top states in our percentage of unemployed workers. That's why I push so hard to ensure that in the American Rescue Plan, the hardest hit states receive the highest share of aid. As a result, the state of Nevada, our counties, and cities will receive over $4 billion in flexible funding to help address budget gaps, accelerate vaccine distribution, keep frontline workers on the payroll, and provide rent and food assistance to our most vulnerable. Meanwhile, our neighbors in Utah, a state with a slightly higher population than us, but with a lower unemployment rate, will receive around $2.5 billion. So I mean it when I say the American Rescue Plan was designed to help those who need it the most. As you're all aware, the impact of this pandemic on Nevada's students has drawn national attention. To get our students, teachers, and school personnel safely back into the classroom, the American Rescue Plan is providing over $964 million for Nevada's schools. This funding can be used to address learning loss, improve ventilation, provide PPE, and hire critical staff, including nurses and counselors. The American Rescue Plan will also dramatically expand access to quality and affordable health care, cut the child poverty rate in half by increasing the child tax credit, and provide unemployment assistance to Nevada's in need through no fault of their own. And of course, we cannot forget the direct payments in the bill that will go to 87% of all adults in Nevada and 86% of children. These dollars will help people in our state put food on the table and keep a roof over their heads while helping businesses across our state that may have otherwise had to close their doors. In southern Nevada, we have some of the best restaurants in the world. The American Rescue Plan provides $28.6 billion for direct relief to struggling independent restaurants. The bill also adds funding to save our stages so that live performance spaces will have access to $16 billion in relief. We need these resources to get our economy quickly moving in the right direction again. But we also need longer-term opportunities to make Nevada more resilient during economic downturns. We've got to make it easier for Nevadans to find jobs. That's why I advocated in my position as the chair of the Economic Development Subcommittee to provide $3 billion in grants to be administered by the EDA to boost local economies across the country. I was proud to put my mark on the American Rescue Plan by ensuring that $750 million of these grants will go specifically to states like Nevada that have experienced a significant loss of travel and tourism-related jobs. This is the first time in our nation's history that the EDA will have a mandate to provide grants to communities like ours. So there is a lot of good news for Nevadans in the American Rescue Plan. It's critical that our state and local communities now take advantage of the opportunities that are available with this new relief. I'm confident that under the leadership of Maggie Carlton, your money committees will do just that. But please don't hesitate to contact my office to discuss how we can work together to bring additional resources to Nevada. I know what a difference you all are making. For example, you unanimously passed AB 106, which will allocate an additional $50 million in federal aid to small businesses and nonprofits impacted by the pandemic. And you're considering legislation to address learning loss in schools because of the pandemic. I'm proud to support the Back on Track bill to provide options for at-risk students to attend in-person or virtual summer school in an effort to close the widening achievement gap. Senator Dondero Loop and Assemblywomen Anderson and Torres know from experience what our schools and students need. We know it's not good enough, though, to return to life as it was before the pandemic. We need to build back better. And that's why you are hearing President Biden announce bold new plans to invest in our nation's future, especially when it comes to infrastructure. As a senior member of the Transportation and Infrastructure Committee, I'll continue to ensure that Nevada has a seat at the table in this discussion. I'm focusing on improving our transportation infrastructure with construction of I-11, the interstate to Phoenix, addressing congestion on Interstate 15, and supporting projects like Brightline West that will bring high-speed rail service between southern Nevada and southern California. These projects are key to diversifying our state's economy and keeping our unemployment rate low even at times when the tourism industry is facing trouble. And though President Biden's American Jobs Plan will put millions to work in good-paying union jobs, to update and improve our infrastructure and ensure that every American has access to clean water and high-speed internet. In the 21st century, we shouldn't settle for anything less. Last week, the President announced the Companion American Families Plan, a new proposal to make it easier to get into the middle class and stay in the middle class. In the United States of America, preschool, quality child care, and paid leave should not be luxuries reserved only for the lucky few. Best of all, we can fully pay for the American Jobs Act and the American Families Act without raising taxes on anyone who makes less than $400,000 per year. In fact, President Biden's plans to make large corporations and the wealthiest among us pay their fair share would actually decrease the deficit. These proposals won't be easy to get across the finish line, but it'll be worth it. I'm willing to work with anyone on either side of the aisle who's serious about investing in America's future. Of course, we have our work cut out for us in other areas as well. Climate change remains an existential threat. I'm grateful for the leadership in this area of Senator Chris Brooks and Assemblyman Howard Watts, and I thank you all for continuing to make it a priority. We must redouble our efforts to reduce fossil fuel consumption and protect our public lands for future generations. Let's hear it for Assemblywoman Gonzalez's 30 by 30 resolution. Earlier this year, I introduced bicameral legislation with Senator Cortez Masto to ensure a consent-based siting process for nuclear waste disposal. Now that we have the White House on our side when it comes to rejecting Yucca Mountain, Nevada should be part of the solution in the federal discussion to find a new storage site. When it comes to gun violence, people in Las Vegas know the consequences of inaction all too well. At the federal level, we should follow Nevada's example and emulate the courage of Assemblywoman Hardigy. Passing extended background checks and extreme risk laws are the best way we can do that. These policies we know will save lives. I'm pleased that the Assembly's passed legislation to expand background checks for private arms sales and transfers by banning ghost guns. President Biden has taken executive action to tighten restrictions on these self-assembled, untraceable firearms. I believe it's time for Congress to act as well. So let's find some common ground, because surely we can all agree that parents shouldn't have to worry that their kids won't come home when they drop them off at school or at a concert. This session, you again passed Senate Joint Resolution 8, which would amend the state constitution to guarantee equal rights for all. This reinforces the Equality Act we passed out of the House. I also commend your efforts on criminal justice reform under the leadership of Speaker Frierson and Attorney General Ford. Home care workers, who are disproportionately women of color, have been on the front lines of this pandemic. We must ensure adequate pay and protections for these essential workers. Like the American Families Plan, Senator Neal's bill will give them that important seat at the table. And let's come together to help get our hospitality workers back on the job now that tourism and business travel are on the rise. We still need to raise the minimum wage across the country and take other federal action to address systemic inequalities that exist in our society. I'm proud to co-sponsor legislation to increase the federal minimum wage to $15 an hour, which would give over 32 million workers a well-deserved pay increase. And let me thank our friends in organized labor for all the efforts to support working families. You are key to expanding the middle class. I'm hopeful you'll also pass Assembly Bill 213, which would remove citizenship requirements for higher education scholarship programs and secure access to in-state tuition for any graduate of a Nevada high school. That complements the bill we've already passed out of the House to provide a pathway to citizenship for Dreamers and TPS recipients. Finally, I want to discuss one major area where I'm especially proud that Nevada is an outlier. Across the country, we've seen state legislatures advance voter suppression bills based on a big lie about the 2020 election. Let me be clear. Individuals who continue to promote these baseless conspiracy theories are a threat to U.S. democracy. Words have consequences, and I saw them firsthand when I was barricaded in my Washington, D.C. office for hours on January the 6th, as domestic terrorists attempted to prevent the peaceful transfer of power. I compliment Secretary of State Zagaski's oversight of our election here in Nevada. And now, instead of making it harder for your constituents to vote, you all are considering comprehensive legislation to enhance access and opportunities for eligible voters to make their voices heard in our democracy. That's just wonderful. Let me conclude by saying I also believe that when it comes to presidential primary elections, Nevada should go vote first. Over the last decade, Nevada has experienced immense population growth. Our state represents the diversity of this country, urban and rural, ethnically and racially diverse, with a strong union and military presence. We are truly a microcosm of the nation. So I hope you'll pass Assembly Bill 126, which would change our presidential caucus to a primary and make the Nevada primary the first in the nation. Ultimately, I'm convinced we'll bounce back from this past year stronger than ever. Nevada was battle-born and it is battle-weathered. We are a resilient state and we have proven it before. I know in my heart that our best days are ahead. So thank you all for working so hard and so smart to put us on the path to a strong recovery. I hope to see you soon.
The Senate is in recess. Okay. 4? 4, but I'm okay. The Senate will come back for recess. We are on the first agenda. We are on order of business number 4.
Madam President, your Committee on Health and Human Services, to which were referred Assembly Bills 35 and 138, has had the same under consideration. Begs leave to report. Same back. The recommendation do pass. Signed, Senator Julia Ratty, Chair. End of reports.
Thank you. Order of business number 6, messages from the Assembly.
Assembly Chamber, Carson City, April 29, 2021. To the Honorable Senate, I have the honor to inform your Honorable Body the Assembly on this day passed Assembly Bill 452 and passed as amended Assembly Bills 167, 194, 231, 278, 356. Signed, Carol Ayala Sala, Assistant Chief Clerk of the Assembly. End of messages.
Thank you. Order of business number 9, Senator Canizaro.
Thank you, Madam President. I move that we take Assembly Joint Resolution number 7 from its place on the resolution file and place it on the resolution file for the next legislative day.
Thank you. You have heard the motion. All those in favor signify by saying yea. Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
And that concludes order of business number 9.
Thank you. Order of business number 10, introduction, first reading, and reference.
Assembly Bill number 167, introduced by Assemblyman Levitt, etc., establishes provisions relating to education. End of bill.
Thank you. Senator Ratty.
Thank you. Thank you, President. I move to refer AB 167 to the Committee on Education.
Thank you. Senator Ratty has referred AB 167 to the Committee on Education. Are there any objections to the referral? If not, so ordered.
Assembly Bill number 194, introduced by Assemblywoman Torres, etc., and Senator Doñate, revises provisions governing suspension and expulsion of pupils. End of bill.
Thank you. Senator Ratty.
Thank you, President. I move to refer Assembly Bill 194 to the Committee on Education.
Thank you. Senator Ratty has referred Assembly Bill 194 to the Committee on Education. Are there any objections to the referral? If not, so ordered.
Assembly Bill number 231, introduced by Assemblywoman Cohen and Krasner, revises provisions governing education on the Holocaust and other genocides. End of bill.
Thank you. Senator Ratty.
Thank you, President. I move to refer AB 231 to the Committee on Education.
Thank you. Senator Ratty has referred AB 231 to the Committee on Education. Are there any objections to the referral? If not, so ordered.
Assembly Bill number 278, introduced by Assemblywoman Duran, provides for the collection of certain information from physicians. End of bill.
Thank you. Senator Ratty.
Thank you. I move to refer Assembly Bill 278 to the Committee on Health and Human Services.
Thank you. Senator Ratty has referred Assembly Bill 278 to the Committee on Health and Human Services. Are there any objections to the referral? If not, so ordered.
Assembly Bill number 356, introduced by Assembly Committee on Ways and Means, makes various changes relating to conservation of water. End of bill.
Thank you. Senator Ratty.
Thank you, President. I move to refer AB 356 to the Committee on Natural Resources.
Thank you. Senator Ratty has referred Assembly Bill 356 to the Committee on Natural Resources. Are there any objections to the referral? If not, so ordered.
Assembly Bill number 452, introduced by Assembly Committee on Ways and Means, revises provisions relating to environmental protection. End of bill.
Thank you. Senator Ratty.
Thank you, President. I move to refer AB 452 to the Committee on Natural Resources.
Thank you. Senator Ratty has referred Assembly Bill 452 to the Committee on Natural Resources. Are there any objections to the referral? If not, so ordered.
And that concludes order of business number 10.
Thank you. Order of business number 12, second reading.
Assembly Bill number 150, introduced by Assembly Committee on Growth and Infrastructure, revises provisions relating to punitive actions concerning special license plates. The people of the state of Nevada represented in the Senate Assembly do enact as follows. Section 1 to Section 1.
Thank you. Are there any amendments to the bill?
There are none.
Thank you. Assembly Bill 150, ordered to the general file.
And that concludes order of business number 12 and business of the desk for this legislative day.
Thank you. Order of business 16, remarks from the floor. Senator Scheibel.
Thank you very much, President. Today it is my honor to honor the AAPI community, the Asian Pacific American Pacific Islander community here in the state of Nevada and across the world. Today is, in fact, AAPI History Day or Heritage Day, and a proclamation has been presented over on the Assembly side that I am proud to be a signatory to, and I just wanted to share a couple of the important points from it. That whereas May 18th was designated as Asian Culture Day in the Nevada Senate by Senate Bill 175, which was passed during the 79th session of the Nevada Legislature and signed into law by former Governor Brian Sandoval on May 18, 2017, bringing to the attention of Nevada residents the important impact of Asians and Asian Americans on the cultural, religious, political, and business environment of the state of Nevada. And whereas the Asian American and Pacific Islander immigrant story in Nevada is replete with chapters of their historic efforts on life in Nevada and America, ranging from Chinese immigrants laboring on dangerous but essential railroad, canal, and mining projects, to AAPI immigrants filling critical shortages of workers in occupations like healthcare and nursing. And whereas the AAPI community, whose members came to America from or trace their heritage to a wide variety of countries, is estimated to represent nearly 10% of Nevada's population. And whereas historically, and despite their positive impact, people of Asian Pacific Islander heritage have faced prejudicial practices that have heightened during the coronavirus pandemic, to the extent that 1 in 8 Asian Americans reported experiencing an anti-Asian hate incident in 2020. Now, therefore, it be proclaimed that we strive to foster understanding and appreciation of AAPI cultures, traditions, and values, and to recognize how much this community's hard work, entrepreneurial energy, and commitment to education and progress have enhanced life in Nevada and America. And be it further proclaimed that at the invitation of the Asian American Pacific Islander Caucus of the Nevada Legislature, we consider May 3rd, 2021 as AAPI Celebration Day at the Nevada Legislature. And it is my honor to invite all of you to celebrate AAPI Day here at the Legislature on this date, and to honor the contributions of our AAPI constituents, the AAPI community to Nevada and to our legislature.
Thank you, Senator Scheibel. Senator Roddy.
Thank you, President. I am privileged today to be able to present a proclamation for the American Cancer Society Cancer Action Network recognizing Nevada's Cancer Action Week. Whereas in the state of Nevada, cancer is the second leading cause of death, and the American Cancer Society Incorporated estimates 16,970 new cancer cases will be diagnosed, and 5,410 people will die from the disease in 2021. And whereas there are more than 130,000 cancer survivors living in Nevada, and that number continues to increase due to changes in early detection practices and treatment advances, and whereas hundreds of new and promising cancer treatments are only available to patients in clinical trials, and access to clinical trials for patients, including the complex challenges to extending life for metastatic cancer patients, is vital to quality of life and well-being. And whereas more than a quarter of cancer patients and survivors reported delays in their cancer care because of coronavirus and continue to experience potentially serious coronavirus-related health care delays and high levels of anxiety associated with the ongoing pandemic. And whereas no one should be disadvantaged in their fight against cancer because of disability status, gender identity, income level, location of residence, sexual orientation, or skin color. And whereas the American Cancer Society Cancer Action Network, a nonpartisan and nonprofit advocacy affiliate of the American Cancer Society, understands health equity means everyone has a fair and just opportunity to prevent, find, treat, and survive cancer. And whereas the ACS-CAN Nevada includes a group of dedicated ambassadors who advocate for those causes by way of policy change at the local, state, and federal levels, and whereas awareness is the first step towards advancing health equity research and improving funding to identify causes and facilitate prevention, early detection, and effective treatment for cancer, now therefore be it proclaimed that May 3rd through May 7th, 2021 is recognized as Nevada's Cancer Action Week in memory of Jet Mitchell, a longtime Nevada advocate, dated this 3rd day of May 2021. I'm very proud to read this as a cancer survivor myself, as well as many members of my family, and having lost some folks who are very close to us and celebrated that life this week, I think it's a great reminder that we should be doing everything that we can in this area, and I'm proud to present this proclamation. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Roddy. Further remarks? All right, Senator Cannizzaro.
Thank you, Madam President. I move that the Senate stand in adjournment until the hour of 11 a.m. on Tuesday, May 4th, 2021.
Thank you. You heard the motion. All those in favor signify by saying yay. Opposed, nay. Motion carries.